And now to episode 3 of the Daily Dozen, spotlighting the players to watch for the 2014 high school football season. That's Scout.com's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. We normally bring you the recruiting roundup, but this time we're looking ahead to the upcoming season. We'll start with you, Jason, as we get into the D's on our alphabetical list.
I'm going to start in the trenches because that is where the game is won and lost. Xavier Davis, defensive end at Red Mountain. Red Mountain does a great job on the offensive and defensive line, but Davis is a player that I think is going to break out. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, and a great pass rusher off the edge.
We mentioned a Sunrise Mountain player in the last episode. I'll mention another one to start this one. Tristan Decker. He's a defensive back out at Sunrise Mountain. Decker is a great name for him because he decks players on the outside. A very hard hitter, a little bit undersized, but you would never know it the way he plays. His dad is the O coordinator for Sunrise Mountain, played wide receiver at Western Illinois, a very similar, small but dynamic and athletic type player. Tristan Decker, a very, very good player for the Mustangs.
I'm staying in the trenches at defensive end, Cole Delgado at Pinnacle High School. Now, he's the prototypical defensive end. He's 6'5" and about 230 pounds, but he didn't play a ton last year. Pinnacle had a very, very solid defensive line last year with A.J. Johns and Cole Neubauer starting at the defensive end spots. I think this is a breakout year for Delgado, who is also a standout baseball player.
6'3", 280-pound Ryan DeLong is the next player on our list out at Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge has done a fantastic job with their offensive linemen over the past few years. This is one of the newest and latest ones that look to make a big impact. Recently committed to Air Force, going to be playing football at the next level, but is going to be throwing around players in Glendale this season for the Mountain Lions.
Again, I'm staying on the defensive line. Marcus Edwards at Sabino High School. Sabino is one of the powerhouses down in Tucson, and he is a big kid. He's 6'3" and 280 pounds. But I want to also mention, he is not only a great football player that has offers from Navy and Cornell, but he made our all-state academic team last year because he's almost a 4.0 GPA, a standout player, standout athlete.
You like trenches? I'm going to stay in the trenches too. We got our next player, Nathan Eldridge, out at Boulder Creek. Missed some time last season because of a hurt elbow, but in the time he was back, happened to be during section play, and still managed to be an all-section player. Staying healthy this season, Nathan Eldridge will be one of the top players in the trenches, both on the offensive line and defensive line this season.
I'm going now to Desert Ridge, who had a great season last year, and at one of their safeties that I'm surprised that not many people are talking about, Sean Aremia. A tall kid, 6'3", probably 180 pounds, but he will hit you. He was second team all-section, had 46 tackles and 3 INTs last year, getting recruited by schools at the FCS and some FBS programs right now.
One of the best stories in high school football last season was Sunny Slope. They just continued to win and win and win, and people wondered if they were for real or not, and it turned out they were. They had a great run in 2013, and Jacob Eshelman, the tight end and also linebacker, was a big part of their success, and their turnaround for the Vikings last season was first-team all-section on both sides of the football last year, and will be one of the major pieces for the Vikings in 2014.
Williamsfield had a great season last year, and one of the hardest hitting players that I saw on tape this offseason was Jackson Fagg, their middle linebacker. Like Delgado, who I mentioned before, Fagg is a very, very good baseball player as well, and Fagg is getting recruited as a football player and as a baseball player. Keep an eye out for him. Coach Campbell really, really likes his ability.
A quarterback out of Desert Vista, the newest one on their long list of very good quarterbacks that have come through their program. Alex Farina. Now, he's the younger brother of Nick Farina. That was a great defensive player for the Thunder just a few years back. This is his first season at the helm at quarterback for Desert Vista, and he looks to make a big impact, try to get Desert Vista back in the playoffs and back to the prominence that they're used to over there.
Last year, I was able to go out and watch Horizon play Paradise Valley on a Thursday game, and one guy that first time I'd ever seen him, but I absolutely loved him, was linebacker Cole Finicaro. He's a guy that plays football how it's supposed to be played. He is just fiery, nasty, and you can see when he's playing football, he's all over the field. Had over 100 tackles last year, 6 sacks and 3 INTs. A guy that I expect to even have a bigger season. Horizon comes back. They're loaded for this season. I expect them to make a playoff run.
And finally, the last player for this edition of the Daily Dozen, we go back in the trenches. Desert Ridge. If you're going to talk the trenches, you got to talk about Desert Ridge, what they've done on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Patrick Fitzgerald, the defensive end for Desert Ridge, stands 6'2", 220. Him and Tavita Tuafa return in the trenches on the defensive side for the Jaguars, and he will be a big part of their success on the defensive side of the football. That's it for this edition. Still plenty more to come, so make sure to continue to stick with us.